Left, left, hey! Colours, twist!
Good afternoon and welcome to Crown Hill Foot. Please come and make a crowd. I do not want to shout. I shouted this morning and my voice is going. Come on in. Please make a crowd. Come on. It won't hurt. I got a story to tell you. Come on in. Good afternoon and welcome. We are the 32nd Regiment of Foot plus the 95th Rifles. Sharp, as you see. What we're going to do, I'm going to give you a talk and a little bit of a chat. What we're going to do for you is some firing of the Brown Bess musket of our period. We're going to go through slow time and then the normal speed. The normal soldier could fire this musket 3 times a minute. And you'll see what happens in a minute. Quite the laugh really sometimes. Right, let's start at the beginning. We as a regiment was formed in 1704 as Marines, Fox's Marines it was. We was bobbing around on the water like you do. Some years later we got fed up with that, so then we become land infantry. All the soldiers you see there, the kit is made in-house. We make it ourselves, apart from the musket, the sergeant's pontoon, and boots, and any other steel weapons, because we can't make them. You need licenses for that. This weapon is a copy of the original's India pattern Brown Bess. Nasty piece of kit if you're on the wrong end. I won't keep you long because the guys are hot. This is quite warm kit to wear. It's all made as close as possible to the original materials as possible. Well, apart from being fire retardant, they can go up in flames. Right, the weapon, well, there's a couple of variations of weapons we've got here. We have the Brown Bess, which is the long weapon. We have a baby one called a carbine, Brown Bess carbine, the artillery used. And we have the renowned Baker rifle, which the riflemen use. That is the only weapon in the British Army that was rifled at the time. The Sergeant Armourer will tell you about that correctly, as we say down here. We are the Cornish Regiment, as we see. We're number 32. The regimental colour you see there was last seen that size, 6 foot by 6'6". It's that big so we can see it in all the smoke. That item has not been seen that size since Waterloo, 1815. Because at Quatre Bras 2 days before, it was shot away and there was only 1/3 of it left to hang on to. That's another story. I can't go into it now because the sergeant gets festive if I go on too long. I can't help it because there's a lot in my computer. The one honour we're going to have next year is the 200th anniversary, which we'll be going to because our regiment, we 32nd, was at the Battle of Waterloo. And we're going to have the honour of the actual direct descendant of the guy that carried it at Waterloo 200 years ago. He has joined us and he's going to be carrying that colour next year, 200th anniversary. And there's going to be over 4,000 reenactors, 300 cavalry and 100 cannon taking part. Right, now we go on to the boring bit. The French always fought in the same way. They never changed their tactics at all. And we was quite smart at that. Because they was all conscripts, the only way they could fight is in a block formation. Yeah? The French had 1,000 men in their regiment, we had 1,000 men in ours. It wasn't like that. There was less than that because of sickness and whatever. But it should have been 1,000 men per regiment. They was all conscripts. The only way they could control them was by block formation. They didn't have a choice. We were volunteers. Their way of sorting it out was big block formation, which was 60 men across the front and however many men behind. Yeah? Can you visualise a big blue oblong shape? Yeah? In there, everybody, 1,000 men, if there's 1,000 men, they've all got a musket. The third man could not fire his musket because it would blow the man off in the front ranks head off. So therefore, it's only the first 2 ranks that could fire their musket, i.e. 120 men. Yeah? Makes sense? Whereas us, the redcoats, now here comes the Crimea bit, thin red line, you all heard of that. Old and bold have heard of that. We was doing that 50 years beforehand, and it worked very well for us. Going back to the story now, us redcoats, again, as the French, 1,000 men, thin red line, we had 2 ranks, front rank and the rear rank, of 500 men each. Therefore, we could fire 1,000 muskets. So 1,000 against 120 doesn't take much to count. We used to beat them all the time. The French army was never beat on the battlefield until they come up against redcoats. For the simple reason, when the Austrians, the Prussians and all the other foreign countries seen this big block of blue coming at them, I can't do it, and they'd turn and run. And like I said, until they come up against the redcoat, we stood and we conquered. And we blew them away. Simple as that. It's unbelievable really, when you think about it. Because their block was 60 men and we had 500 men in the line. We would overlap them. So they're getting hit from the front and the flanks when we fired at them. What we're going to do is fire. Well, I'll hand over to the sergeant in a moment. What they're going to do is fire one at slow time so you can see the motions they go through. They have to do. A trained soldier will do this 3 times a minute. If not, they will get flogged. And the drummer will do the flogging. I'll have another story on that when we've done the firing, I'll tell you. They will then fire one in slow time to show you the movements, what they've got to go through to do this. Bear in mind, you've got thousands of men coming at you while they're doing it. See, look, he's pushing me out now, he's getting impatient. And then what they're going to do is they're going to fire 3 rounds in the proper time. Takes some doing. You watch the movements you've got to go through. I'm now going to give you the rifleman and his Baker rifle.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, the muskets that the gentleman behind us are using are the Brown Bess muskets, first used in 1740, used up to about 1830. This is a Baker rifle, or known as a British infantry carbine at the time, which came into service in 1800. Guns behind much longer, but a smooth bore weapon. No rifling on the inside, so they were accurate between 40 to 70 yards. So the guys, when you'll see them firing in a minute, will all line up in 2 ranks, and they will throw 1,000 rounds down, with 1,000 men, each one firing like one big scattergun, big shotgun. This weapon, range about 350, normally used around 250 yards. It has sights on it and is accurate because it has a twist in the barrel, rifling in the barrel so the ball will spin and be accurate. So the rifleman will be out in front, using this weapon to shoot at any of the officers, NCOs, sergeants, drummers and anybody that had any communication within the French that were coming towards them. We shoot all the French officers, there's nobody to tell them what to do and hopefully they'll all run away before we have to shoot any more of them. Right, so quite a difference in the 2 weapons themselves, but both used in conjunction with each other. Weapon's quite simple. Basically we take gunpowder and we put it into this little tray, pull the gun back to the half cock, close down the frism, turn the weapon around, pour all the rest of the powder and the ball down this end and ram it down with a ramrod. You'll see them doing it in the drill session in a minute. Once it's all squashed down in the barrel, when we're ready to fire we come back to the full cock. When the trigger goes, get some sparks, they fall into the pan, ignite the powder, goes through a little touch hole, lights the powder in the barrel, the bullet comes out the end and hopefully a Frenchman falls. the other end. Okay, so that's the weapons that they're using. She'll pass you back to the colonel.
Thank you. When the sergeant brings the troops round, they'll start the motion. Sergeant, over to you. They will make a lot of noise.
Right, no fingers yet, not ready. No fingers in your ears yet. I'm not going to talk you to death, but I ain't an officer.
See, got to have a dig, eh? Every time.
We're just going to have some action. We're going to fire the guns, fire the muskets. If you want more details, quite happy to answer those. But we'll be loading by order, which means each instruction means one movement. Normally they'll be allowed to fire at their own free speed. That free speed would be 3 times a minute. How many times a minute?
3 times a minute, Sergeant!
They've been drilled, they know how often they have to fire. Doesn't matter if it's accurate, because we don't aim these weapons. We point them in the general direction of the enemy and hope they're going to fall over. We now have a demonstration of how to load these weapons. By order! Load! First, they've opened up the prison. Next thing they'll do is handle cartridge. They'll take a cartridge out of their pouch, they'll bite the bullet off, and they'll wait. They will wait! They will prime! They'll prime their weapons with a little bit of gunpowder. They will cast about. In goes the powder. They spit the ball into the end of the weapon and then use the paper as wadding. They will now draw ramrods. They will draw their ramrods, holding them 1 inch into the barrel of the weapon. Ram down cartridge. They will now push the cartridge and the ball to the bottom of the barrel. Return ramrods. The ramrods are now put back in their holdings, and this is a little bit different to how it was in the Napoleonic Wars, because I had to check to make sure the ramrods have gone back into the holdings and not down the end of the barrel. Shoulder! Pump! The reason we do this, as I've explained several times before, is that it's very annoying going to the French and asking for your ramrod back. Shoulder! Too late. Make ready! We'll now drop their weapon. Reset! Fire! Recover! That is loading by order. We will now load in their own time. Your own time, prime man, load! This is the speed they do 3 times a minute. Hold when ready. Well, I prefer it if they were slow and safe, rather than doing the 3 times a minute and getting it wrong. Make ready! Present! Fire! Come on! Shoulder, home! That was how to load 3 times a minute. The final thing I'll demonstrate for you is loading by tap load. That is when the French are in very close proximity and you haven't got time to load with a ramrod. And so you take the weapon, put the ball down the end and tap it down. Not very accurate way of loading these sorts of weapons, but it gets a lot of balls towards the French, which is all we care about. Prime and load, tap, Load! Come up. Shoulder on.
1-6 is a
Right.
misfire.
Come your face to the right, face. Come your face to the right, face. Forward, march.
There's a few sayings from our time. The old and the bold amongst you know them.
Come your face to the right,
Going off half cocked
face to the right, face.
comes from this weapon. Where inside there's a small sear. If you half cock it, it locks and it will not fire the gun. You have to pull it to full cock before it will go off. So when it goes off half cock, it's because the little sear inside is worn. And it doesn't tell you when it's worn, it just goes, and it goes off half cock. Hence that saying. Another one is a flash in the pan from this weapon, which is when the flint strikes the frizzen and sparks off and lights the paper powder in the pan, but it doesn't go through to the main charge. Hence, a flash in a pan. The one I like is the best one, is another old saying. Cat's out the bag. Yeah? All you old and bold know about the cat's out the bag, or not enough room to swing a cat. Here's a bag, and they've got a little fawn colour cat in here. A cat of 9. That's the cat out the bag. That's the other saying. Not enough room to swing a cat. That was on board boat. Yeah? That's where that saying comes from. And that would rip your back open, because the ends are knotted. The soldier would get anywhere between 25 to 1,000 lashes, and the drummer would be the one that would inflict that punishment. If the guy that was receiving the punishment, the doctor would come out after 25 lashes, have a look and see if he could carry on. If he had 1,000 lashes and he wasn't able to carry on, he will be led away until he was fit to take some more, until that 1,000 lashes was issued. Not a good sight. Not very. What they're going to do now is what the French, when they was coming, would see. Right, Sergeant?
Three cheers. Hip hip. Huzzah! Hip hip. Huzzah! Hip hip. Huzzah! Charge! Bayonets! Huzzah! Forward! March!
They would keep close together so no Frenchman could get between them.
March!
And they didn't like it up and
Charge! Halt! Port! Arms! Shoulder! Arms!
17 inches of cold.
Order! Arms!
As Corky Jones said, they
Unfixed!
don't like it.
Bayonets! Shoulder! Arms! To the right! Face! To the right! Face! Forward! March! Head! Head! Halt! Right! Face! Right! Face!
What we're going to do now is we're going to salute you.
Company will present arms. Present! Arms! Three cheers for His Most Britannic Majesty, King George. Hip hip! Huzzah! Hip hip! Huzzah! Hip hip! Huzzah! Shoulder, arms!
Thank you very much, and that's the end of the display. Thank you.